Hey there, Ritual here to give a big shout out to you for making it through the hectic holiday season. The magic of those family moments, that was you. And now there's new milestones to prep for in 2025. This new year, check clean, quality pregnancy nutrient support off your to-do list with Ritual. We've done the research to create science-backed pregnancy support like our prenatal multivitamin, natal choline, and fertility support, all designed to be taken alongside each other. But don't just take our word for it. They're also third-party tested for microbes and heavy metals and Clean Label Project certified. So whether you're trying, thinking about trying, or already there, we don't have to tell you that prioritizing yourself can be the hardest part. That's why we're helping you get started today with 30% off a 3-month supply for a limited time at ritual.com/podcast. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Welcome to Bloodstained Backstories, the true crime podcast where we unravel the most fascinating and chilling cases from around the world. I'm your host, Jace, and today we delve into the dark tale of Gregory Capehart and the tragic murder of Marlene Reeves. Our story begins on February 3rd, 1988 in the quiet town of Dade City, Florida. Marlene, who was completely illiterate and unable to read, write, or make change, was found suffocated and raped in her apartment. The medical examiners concluded that Marlene's sexual organs were injured, which was indicative of a potential rape. Her underwear was pulled down to her knees, and her nightgown was pushed up to expose her breasts. She died from asphyxiation from being smothered with a pillow. Now, you would think that the medical examiners would collect DNA evidence in case they had a suspect, and that DNA evidence could be used then to definitively match the suspect to the crime. But that was not the case. There was no DNA evidence connecting anybody to this other than the suspicion that she was raped because of her sexual organs being injured. However, the investigators were able to find a critical piece of evidence at the scene, a palm print that would be matched to Gregory Capehart. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't go around my neighborhood and put my hand up against neighbors' windows. So the palm print was something that was quite strange to have been found. But that was the only piece of evidence that would match Gregory Capehart to this crime. Despite the lack of DNA evidence, this palm print proved to be a breakthrough in the case. Gregory admitted to his lifelong friend Walter Harrison that he killed Marlene, but it was an accident. He said he tried to knock her out with the pillow, and instead, he accidentally killed her. When Gregory made his statement to the police after he was arrested, he claimed that there were a couple of other guys that were planning to rob Marlene. He insisted that he was outside during the robbery and only entered Marlene's bedroom to find one of the other guys strangling her. Now, was there any other proof of any other people being involved? There was no hair fibers, DNA, shoe prints, handprints, nothing. So unfortunately, his claim that he was an accomplice to this could not be backed up or proven. The trial of Gregory became a battleground of emotions and revelations, and Gregory was ultimately sentenced to death for the first-degree murder, and he received 15 years for burglary without the intent to commit assault. However, Gregory filed a direct appeal in the Florida Supreme Court on May 30th, 1989. He argued that was insufficient evidence to prove that he killed Marlene Reeves and that the trial court erred in permitting the testimony of a medical examiner who did not perform the autopsy. He also objected to the testimony of Officer Muck, who negated Gregory's claim that someone else killed Marlene, and the admission of a character evidence of the victim. I can see where Gregory is coming from here. The only thing they had was his palm print. There was no DNA evidence. But like I mentioned before, it is kind of strange to have a palm print of anybody else at my home. And he could not explain how that palm print got there. He wasn't a handyman that had done some work for her, which potentially could explain it. There was no good explanation for this palm print and how it got on the outside of the window by her house. In reference to the penalty phrase, Gregory argued that the court did not adequately examine his claim of ineffective counsel, and they refused to give him a new court-appointed counsel. He also claimed that the court erred in its application of aggravating factors. Upon examination of his claim, the Florida Supreme Court ruled that the case of cold, calculated, and premeditating aggravating factors was falsely applied to Gregory's case. With 3 other valid aggravating factors present, however, the Supreme Court deemed the inclusion of the aggravating factors as a harmless error. On June 13, 1991, the Florida Supreme Court affirmed the convictions and the sentence of death, but they did vacate his 15-year burglary sentence and remanded for resentence according to the sentencing guidelines. On April 19, 1993, Gregory filed a motion to vacate judgment and sentence in the state court. He filed 6 amended motions, and the last one was on July 10, 2003. On April 21, 2004, an evidentiary hearing was held, and the judge granted a new penalty phase based on that evidence. As a result, Gregory's sentence was changed from death to life in prison, and it was deemed that because Gregory had a disability, it was not fitting that he would be sentenced to death according to the state guidelines. The case of Gregory Capehart and Marlene Reeves remains a haunting reminder of the darkness that can lurk beneath the surface of even the most seemingly tranquil communities. It is a tale of betrayal, mystery, and the relentless pursuit of justice. Thank you for joining me on this journey through the shadows. If you have any theories or thoughts about today's episode, I'd love to hear them from you. Don't forget to follow us and leave a comment. Until next time, stay safe and keep your curiosity alive.